Today, out of nowhere, Nintendo dropped a new version of the Switch. Is it the Nintendo Switch Pro that we've been all hearing about, or is it the affectionately named Super Nintendo Switch? Let's find out. Welcome back to another Tech Control video. Yes, that's right. In this video, we're going to be talking about the newly announced, sort of shadow dropped by Nintendo, the new Nintendo Switch OLED model. Yes, OLED model, not Switch Pro, not Super Nintendo Switch, OLED model. Before we get into the details, I have to remind you guys to subscribe below, share this video with a buddy or two, like, and leave your comments below. So let's start off with the biggest and most notable improvement right in the name. It got a 7-inch OLED display. Up from a 6.2 LCD panel, now you can see that the bezels are really filled in. I mean, they still have some bezels, but it's not as noticeable as it was before. So just to give you a really high level overview of what OLED is, OLED actually stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode, I think. I'm gonna look it up later just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Basically, it doesn't have a backlight as opposed to the traditional, I guess I could say traditional now, LCD panels. Those do have a backlight. So the way this works is that the pixels are individually lit. That's why you can see such a high contrast between a color and a dark. Because there is no dark light, it's literally the pixel is off. So that is the darkest black that you could get on an image. It's just off. It's the same as if your TV is off. That's the type of quality of the image of the black. Now, like I mentioned, when it comes to the colors, each pixel is individually lit. On an LCD display, the whole screen is backlit, and it will try and dim the darkest areas as much as possible, but it will never get as dark as OLED. So now you might be saying, Joseph, OLED is great. Are there any disadvantages? Another great question. Yes, there are a few disadvantages. For one, it's expensive. OLED is, for the most part, I mean, it's been out for a couple of years now, and it does get cheaper year after year, but it's still somewhat in its infancy. A little more mature than other technologies like mini LED and even more than micro LED. So because it's in its infancy, they tend to be very expensive. Again, a lot cheaper than they were in recent years, but still pretty expensive. Now, second disadvantage, burn-in. I personally have had this happen to one of my OLED TVs, and I had to have the display changed just to get it back to normal or the way it's supposed to be. So that is a fear always when using OLED. But since we're talking about a gaming console, one of the top benefits of OLED is that the input lag is significantly less. Back to the Switch. Comes with 64 gigabytes of storage, double what the current Switch has with 32 gigabytes. It now has a wide adjustable stand. The regular stand that comes with the Switch, it's only one setting. They also enhanced the audio, and I gotta say that this is much needed for the Switch, especially when you have it in handheld mode and you're walking around or you're wherever, it doesn't matter, just out and about. Anybody that has a Switch will tell you right off the bat that the download speed is terrible. It's very slow. So the dock got a much needed upgrade. It actually has a port for Ethernet. Now, that doesn't always necessarily mean that the speeds are going to be much higher, but I would fully expect that they would be at the very least twice as fast, if not more. Obviously, depending on your connection at home. So in the trailer, you also got to see that the dock lights up. I'm not sure if that's just, effects of the trailer or if that's actually real. But speaking of the dock, it turns out that the new OLED model and the old, or current dock, I don't even know what to call the old Switch anymore. You can interchange the new OLED model with the current model. Those docks are interchangeable. Doesn't matter if it's the new Switch or the existing one. The Joy-Cons are also interchangeable with the existing models. That's kind of cool. Speaking of the Joy-Cons, I don't know if the new ones that are going to come with the OLED model, if those are new Joy-Cons. They're saying it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if they are new ones, considering all the drift issues that the existing ones have. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that these aren't new ones, but maybe other people are going to break them down and do a comparison. I really wouldn't be surprised if these are new ones. So let's talk about the price. They are $349.99. Yes, $50 more than the existing Nintendo Switch, and they're coming October 8th, coming out the same day as the new Metroid game. So let's quickly talk about some of the things that we did not get. We did not get any type of upgraded internals. No better processor, no better RAM, no even the display, although it's OLED and it's a little bigger, the display is still putting out 720 on handheld and 1080 60 FPS when docked, which also means that there's no 4K. So they didn't mention anything about the battery. I'm not sure if with the new OLED display the battery is going to be more efficient or if it's going to be worse. They did confirm that it is heavier though. I mean, that makes sense with the OLED display and then the new wide angle stand. Sure. Another question you might be asking yourself is, if I already have a Nintendo Switch, should I upgrade? You are hitting these questions out of the park today. The answer is maybe. I guess I would say it really depends on you, the individual that is purchasing this or is thinking about purchasing this. If you are somebody who uses this handheld mode and constantly plays on the road or at work or whatever the case is, then yeah, the bigger display may come in handy. It's definitely going to look a lot nicer with an OLED screen. I 100% can guarantee that. But if you're someone that has it at home and it's always docked, I don't see any benefit to you getting this new upgraded model, the OLED model. There aren't any upgraded internals, so essentially you're going to get the same thing on your TV. It's going to be 1080p, 60 FPS. Again, depending on the game, because some of these games really can get down to about 10 FPS and then forget about it. Low frames per second give me a headache. That's just me personally. Now, if you're somebody that does a little bit of both, you take it with you on the go and then you also come home and dock it, that's honestly up to you. It's a judgment call. Maybe your current Switch is on its way out, standing on its last leg, then sure, consider getting this new one. But if yours is working just fine and you're happy with it, then there really is no need. I was really hoping for some internal upgrades that would make the games perform better, but that's not the case. For me, it's a swing and a miss. Let me know about you guys. Leave your comments below. I will say that the new color is pretty easy on the eyes. It's a nice white or pearl. I guess we'd have to get our hands on it to really see it. I'm not really 100% sure if I'm going to end up getting this OLED model. It's probably going to be really difficult to find at first anyway, but if I do end up getting it, believe me, I will be unboxing it for you guys. Speaking of unboxing, check out some of these other unboxings. I'm going to leave the link here at the top. And as usual, if you haven't already, don't forget to sub, like, share, comment your thoughts. And if you like tech and games, make sure to keep it here.